Win, place, exacta, and trifecta wagering. Win, place, exacta, and trifecta wagering. Turn to race 6. Race 6, there will be win and exacta wagering. Win and exacta wagering. In race 6, number 2, Robin Hill High has been scratched, personal reasons. Scratch number 2, Robin Hill High, personal. All right, in race 6, we have a 1 and a 1A, a 2A, a 3 and a 4. So if you wager on number 1, you'll get both 1 and 1A. And since the 2 is scratched, you scratch the. If you wager on 2A, if you wager on number 2, you'll get 2A. Turn to race 7. Race 7, there will be win, place, exacta, and trifecta wagering, and daily double wagering on races 7 and 8. It'll be another daily double on races 7 and 8. Race 7, number 1, Pronto Tanto has been scratched due to transportation. Scratch number 1, Pronto Tanto, due to transportation. Turn to race 8. Race 8 will be the second half of that daily double along with race 7, and there will be win, place, exacta, and trifecta wagering. Race 8, number 5, last bet has been scratched due to sickness. Scratch number 5, last bet due to sickness. Those are the only changes and corrections that we have at this time.
The Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association presents Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is presented by the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, Cool Winds Farms, thestable.ca, and Midland Acres. Now let's go trackside for all the action.
Collision. Number 1 is Chipbaca, owned and trained by Jim Burris of Rudolph, the driver Greg Bateson. Number 2 is Stable Creek Triumph, owned and trained by Barb Lewis of Upper Sandusky, the driver is Devin Miller. Number 3 is Creatine Storm, owned, trained, and driven by David Kazara of Houston, Pennsylvania. Number 4 is Spirit of Success, owned by E.G. Trott, LLC of Findlay, trained by Ed Greeno Jr., the driver Cody Greeno. Number 5 is Domer, owned by Robin McGee of Swanton and Suzanne Bates of Gibsonburg, trained by Ty Bates, the driver Pierce Henry. At number 6 is Entered to Win, owned by Steve Bateson of Rudolph and Hal Moore of Bowling Green, trained by Steve Bateson, the driver Mark St. Louis Jr.
Matt, we had that time just right. Went right on the air for the post parade. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Van Wert, Ohio, the Van Wert County Fair, Ohio Fair Racing Conference action. You just had the post parade for the first. 3-year-old Colt Trotters tonight, 2-year-old Colt Trotters, 3-year-old Filly Trotters, and 2-year-old Filly Pacers. 2 divisions of the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series and 2 divisions of the Signature Series here at Van Wert tonight. Doug Ballinger and Matt Clark will bring you the action tonight. Just had the post parade for the first. The 1, Chewbacca, Greg Bateson drives. 6 starts this year, has 2/3, right at $2,500. The 1, Chewbacca. Devin Miller picks up the drive on the 2, Stable Creek Triumph. 4 starts yet to hit the board. Shows a lot of breaks and a lot of distance on the card for the 2. 3, Creatine Storm. David Kuzera drives. 8 starts with a win. 2/3, $5,800. At the Meadows this year was a winner, 202-4, the 3, Creatine Storm. Cody Greeno's the driver's change on the 4, Spirit of Success. 11 starts, a win, 2 seconds, 4/3, $14,500. 2 back at Troy was a winner in 203. Pierce Henry, the 5, Domer for Ty Bates. It shows Domer making his 2nd start of the year. Has a 3rd. Last year, $9,800 was a winner as a 2-year-old at Wauseon of 211, the 5, Domer. 6, Entered to Win, Mark St. Louis Jr. for Steve Bateson. Bateson owns a partnership with Harold Moore. 8 starts for Entered to Win, has a win, 5 seconds and a 3rd, $10,540, 207-1 at Hicksville. Just a week ago tonight, the 6, Entered to Win, Mark St. Louis Jr. And looking at the board, 4-5 favorite, the 6, Entered to Win. Purse of $10,820. The field of trotters have made their score, made their turn, and heading to the gate. Announcer tonight, Bill Peters, presiding judge Paul Combs, Paul Ladd, associate, Mike Wepkenberg with the starting gate. Looking at a few of the fans out there watching. Chuck Samples from Knoxville, Tennessee. Good friend of mine watching. I thought of Chuck's grandpa, Irv Samples, in the speed office a few minutes ago. They had a program from 1974. Irv Samples did not drive that night, which I was surprised. That's the year I got married, and I can remember that December. He was at my wedding, and he passed away the following May 5th, I believe, of 1975. So maybe Irv did not drive in 74. Nice old program from 1974. Field of Trotters, Chewbacca, Stable Creek Triumph, Creatine Storm, Spirit of Success, Domer, Entered to Win. Set for the start for the first. Let's go to Bill Peters for the call.
Here they come. The year off and trotting the first horse away in the middle of the track is Spirit of Success. Up on the outside second is Entered to Win. At the rail third is Creatine Storm. Up on the outside fourth is Domer. Along the rail fifth, that's Chip Baca. The last horse is Stable Creek Triumph. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Entered to Win sticks his nose out in front on the outside, takes the lead. Dropping back second is Spirit of Success. Racing in there third, that's Creatine Storm. Fourth along the rail, Domer. Then comes Chip Baca, the last horse, Stable Creek Triumph.
29-3.
First quarter was trotted in 29 and 3/5 seconds. Mark St. Louis Jr. has Entered to Win on top by 1 length. Trotting in there second, Spirit of Success, driven by Cody Greeno. A little farther back third is Creatine Storm, driven by David Cassara. Fourth is Domer, driven by Pierce Henry. Fifth is Chip Baca, driven by Greg Mason. The last horse, Stable Creek Triumph, driven by Devin Miller. Coming down to the half-mile mark, that's Mark St. Louis Jr. and Entered to Win, bringing the horses down to the half. A length and a half back second is Spirit of Success. Closing in third now is Creatine Storm. Closing in fourth is Domer. And comes Chip Baca and Stable Creek Triumph.
101 and 2.
First half trotted in 101 and 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Entered to Win. A length and a half back second is Spirit of Success. Creatine Storm is third, Domer fourth. Fifth is Chip Baca. The last horse going off stride is Stable Creek Triumph. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Entered to Win by a length and a half over Spirit of Success. Creatine Storm is third, followed by Domer fourth. Then comes Chip Baca and Stable Creek Triumph.
135.
3/4 in 135 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Entered to Win by 2 lengths now over Spirit of Success. Still racing third is Creatine Storm, followed by Domer fourth. As they race through the lane, that's Entered to Win and Spirit of Success. Entered to Win along the rail, Spirit of Success coming up on the outside. Entered to Win and Spirit of Success. It's going to be Entered to Win, and here the outcome. Spirit of Success up for place, up for show is Creatine Storm. A mile in 2:03 and 3/5.
Well, a gate to wire win for Entered to Win. Mark St. Louis Jr., the 3-year-old bay go to the son of Enterprise out of the Cadabra mare. Flawless Beauty. 2 wins and 9 starts with 5 seconds in the third. Earnings now right at $16,000 and a lifetime mark of 203 and 4 for Entered to Win. Owned in partnership by Harold Moore of Bowling Green and the president of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, Steve Bateson. I believe Steve Bateson is making his way to the winner's circle. I believe that's Steve across the way, isn't it?
Yeah, yep, orange shirt. Yep.
I didn't catch the first quarter. Did you?
I didn't.
Half and 101 and 2, 135, 203 and 4.
Yeah, Mark was definitely not going to take the 2-hole trip in there. He went on the front and got it. And
well, when you're the best, yeah,
Yep.
you went on top. The 2 favorites were 1-2 Entered to Win, even money, and 8-5 on the 4 Spirit of Success, who was second. Third, the 3 Creatine Storm, who was the 4th choice at 9-1.
Into the winner's circle where all the winners go. Coming in from Rudolph and Bowling Green comes number 6, Entered to Win. Owned by Steve Bateson and Hal Moore, trained by Steve Bateson, and driven to victory this evening by Mark St. Louis Jr. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Superior Collision. Let's have a big hand here for Steve Bateson, Mark St. Louis Jr., Stacy Curry, and her Doug Abbey. And the Superior Collision, the donors of the blanket. And the Superior Collision, the donors of the blanket. There, the official placing for race 1 from the top. Number 1, Chip Baca was 5th. Number 2, Stable Creek Triumph was 6th. Number 3, Creatine Storm was 3rd. Number 4, Spirit of Success was second. Number 5, Domer was fourth. Number 6, Enter to Win was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 29 3/5. The half was in 101 2/5. The 3 quarters in 135 with a mile in 203 3/5. From the top it should read 5-6-3, 2-4-1, a mile in 203 3/5. And the upcoming race 2 will be Win Place Show Exacta.
Looking at the comments, the name Irv Samples was brought up. I used to work for him in the summer of 1970 at Scioto. Somebody said here when he would walk into a barn, you would listen. Well, that's right. When you work for him, and if he said jump, before you jumped, you said how high. And I taken care of a horse by the name of Jane Day in 1970, a trotter owned by Fred Balzell of Rockford, Ohio. She had the 5-hole, the 6-hole with Speedy Crown, making his first career start as a 2-year-old. Jane Day was 5th, and Speedy Crown was dead last 6th. So I took care of a horse that beat Speedy Crown.
Wow.
Didn't know it at the time. So there's a little bit of information on their samples. Second race up, 2-year-old Colt Pace, 11,480. Cody Greeno drives the 4. Dance My Life Away, Justin Irvin the 7. Eva Vaughn. If you'd like to print a program off, go to OhioHarnessRacing.com to print your program off. We'll be back to take a look at the second race right after these messages.
The fall of 1855 saw the founding of the annual Van Wert County Fair. Earlier that same year, a local newspaper had pushed the Agricultural Society to host a fair promoting area farm development. Despite public demand, the first fair was humbling. The one-day event had 1 horse, few poultry, a pig, 2 cows, and just some artwork to exhibit. However, by 1857, the fair had become so competitive that land was purchased to keep up with expansion. For only $187, the Van Wert County Fair finally had a permanent home. In 2 decades, the fair had extended to 3 days, and admission was increased to 25 cents per person. A saloon, Wheel of Fortune, dance floor, and racetrack had all been added to the grounds. A $20 purse was given to the fastest trotter of the day. Today, the Van Wert County Fair is a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
Well, we're back here at Van Wert. The winner entered to win $4, $210 and $210. Exacta $660. The try was covered with a 6-4-3 combination. Will return you $12 to win. One final story about Irv Samples, my former employer. When I started calling races, I can remember he had a horse called Absalom. Going to go for the track record owned by Doc Steiner at the Allen County Fair in Lima in 1972, I believe. The mile was in 2 minutes flat. I thought that was unreal. And last Thursday at Greenville, who would have ever dreamed that we would go in 150 with Charlie May? So what did you think about that? Charlie May, do you think he could have went a little faster out there? Been nice, 149.4. I think he could have. He was kind of under wraps.
He was
the race set up for him.
It did, but I mean, when he was showing some daylight by Brett Miller, I mean, he was just past those horses in a matter of steps, and I mean, it's just amazing how explosive he is and the turn of foot that he has, and it looks like he can use it just about any time in the mile.
Well, Brett knew, I'm sure he was licking his chops at the 3/8 when he heard the
53 to the half.
quarter, and then the half and 53. That's when Brandon Bates with Section 9 Big Rifle finally found a pylon, and he knew at that time that the pace would slow, so he was out and moving right now so they wouldn't get any rest.
Yep.
So, second race, 2-year-old Colt Pace. Dancing in Style, the one, Mark St. Louis Jr. A winner 5 times this year, 23,000, 2 minutes and a fifth at Oak Harbor. Earlier this year has 4 in a row, actually 5 out of the last 6 a winner. The other one a second place finish at Tiffin. 2, Legendary Do-Rah, Greg Bateson, trains and drives. 5 starts, coming off a 4th place finish. Has a second, 2/3, $5,900. Yet to find a winner's circle. The 2, Legendary Do-Rah. 3, Rockin' Valterra, Pierce Henry for Jason Elser. 2-year-old Bay Gold Center, Rockin' Amadeus. 2 wins and 9 starts, right at 6,000. Winner at Bowling Green in 201. That's 4 starts back. Cody Greeno will pick up the drive on the 4. Dance My Life Away for Steve Novak. 2-year-old Bay Gold Son of Dancing Yankee. Out of the Lifetime Mares, Save My Life, 6 starts. A second and a third, 4,400 in earnings for the 4. Dance My Life Away, that driver's change to Cody Greeno. 5, Dancing Suds, Doc Holliday drives and trains for Andrea and Tommy Householder of Delaware. 2-year-old Bay Colt, but Dancing Yankee has a win, 3 seconds and a third in 11 starts, $7,100. That win coming at Wilmington of 201 and 2. 6, Stonebridge Drago, Drew Neal for Ryan Miller. This is the 2-year-old Brown Gold Son of Fear the Dragon out of the Islands Fantasy Mare. Stonebridge Lulu, Miller Racing Stable Greenville, Amazing Racing Stable Middle Point, and Emma Hayes of Arizona. 8 starts, 4 wins, 2 seconds, pushing 13,000, 158 and 4 on 820 at Greenville. 7, E.A. Voyne, Justin Irvine drives for Ross Sutherland. 2-year-old Bay Colt by bit of a legend, a $14,000 purchase. A win in 8 starts, a second, 2/3, $6,500, 206 and 3 at Oak Harbor. The 6, Stonebridge Drago, was Ohio Select purchase of $22,000. 14,000 purchase for the 4. Dance My Life Away at the Blooded Horse sale. 12,000 on the 1. Dance in Style at the Ohio Select. Talking about the yearling prices, the 2023 Ohio Select Jug Sale coming up on Friday, September 15th. At the Pickaway County Agriculture Center in Circleville. We'll be touching on that here later on in the program about that sale, and one of our fine sponsors, Cool Wind Farms, there, some of their entries into that sale, and Midland Acres, another fine sponsor who are on our broadcast all year long bringing these races to you. We look across the way, we need 7. See 2. 6. I see 6. I see 7. We're all out, so Bill's going to get them together, and we're going to post parade. The track looks good. Looks very nice surface tonight. Decent crowd on hand. We're back at it here Thursday at noon. I'm sure that'll be Veterans Day. It usually is. Here's the post parade for the second 2-year-old Colt Pace. Let's go to Bill Peters.
Our start printing post word for race 2. This is the 2-year-old Colt Pace, going for a purse of $11,480 and a blanket courtesy of Cooper Grain Farm LLC, Amazing Racing Stable 2023. 1 is Dancing Style, owned by Jerry Michael of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver, Mark St. Louis Jr. Number 2 is Legendary Do-Rah, owned by Ed Harwood of Monroe, Michigan, trained and driven by Greg Bateson. Number 3 is Rockin' Valterra, owned by Shelley Elser of Montpelier, trained by Jason Elser, the driver, Pierce Henry. Number 4 is Dance My Life Away, owned by Jerry Michael of Westland, Michigan, trained by Steve Novak, the driver, Cody Greeno. Number 5 is Dancing Suds, owned by Andrea and Tommy Householder of Delaware, Ohio, trained and driven by Ken Holliday. Number 6 is Stonebridge Drago, owned by Miller Racing Stable Incorporated of Greenville, Ohio, Amazing Racing Stable, Middle Point, Ohio, and Melinda Haynes of Patagonia, Arizona, trained by Ryan Miller, the driver Drew Neal. At number 7 is E.A. Voyne, owned by Mike Raker of Fayette, trained by Russ Sutherland, the driver Justin Irvin. Horses will take one long score and go to the gate. Mute your windows closing in 4 minutes.
Dean Miller is watching. Daniel Bowers from Eaton. Bill Boroff. Howard McLean. Mark Bevelmeyer. John Wiest is watching. He'll be there on Thursday to help Mike Wepkenberg with the starting gate. Judy Adams. Dick Link. Dalton Ball. Scott Tarleton. Tim Conkle's watching in Florida. Don't get blown away. You shouldn't get too much wind your side there, I don't believe, Tim. Eric Swartz is checked in. Scott Tarleton. So we're here this evening. Tomorrow afternoon, Matt and I will be at the Hancock County Fair in Findlay. That's a 1 o'clock post, I believe. 13 races tomorrow. I didn't know there was that many, Matt. 13 tomorrow at Findlay.
Yeah, I think 12 on Thursday. 13 and 12, I think, is what they ended up with over there.
Also Wednesday, the OHHA will be at Canton with a noon post. Thursday, a noon post at Canton. Thursday evening to be a 6 o'clock post time at Findlay. A noon post time here at Van Wert on Thursday. So I will be here with the afternoon card for you at noon on Thursday and have to get in the car and head to Findlay to get to that start at 6 o'clock where we have 11. And the weekend it takes us Canfield, Wauseon, Richwood, and Marietta. So it's a very busy Labor Day weekend for the OHHA in harness racing in the Buckeye State.
We've got a 1-5 shot in here, Doug, and I thought it looked pretty tough on paper, really. And 6 does look like he's been awfully sharp, but there's a few others in here that I think can go a little bit.
I believe the 5... the 6 is 1-2. 4 wins this year. Dancing Suds. The 5 currently at 8-1, but the 1-2 post time favorite now, Stonebridge Drago, Drew Neal from the Ryan Miller barn. This used to be Ryan Miller's home track to train at before he went a little bit south, 127 to Greenville. Field of 7, all in behind the Mike Wepkenberg starting gate. Let's go to Bill Peters for the call of the second race.
Here they come. They're off and pacing the first horse away at the rail is Dancing Style. Up on the outside second is Stonebridge Drago. At the rail third is Legendary Dura. Moving up fourth now is Dance My Life Away. At the rail fifth is E.A. Voyne. Moving up on the outside sixth now comes Rockin' Volterra. And the last horse at this point is Dancing Suds. Heading down the backside to race over to that quarter-mile mark, Mark St. Louis has Dancing Style on top by a length and a half. And then at the rail second, that is Legendary Do-Rod, driven by Greg Bateson. At the rail third is Stonebridge Drago, driven by Drew Neal. Moving fourth is Dance My Life Away, driven by Cody Greeno. Fifth is Rockin' Volterra, driven by Pierce Henry. Sixth is E.A. Voyne, driven by Justin Irvin. The last horse, Dancing Suds, driven by Ken Holliday. The first quarter was paced in 29 and 2/5 seconds. 7 pacers are pretty well bunched as they race down toward the half-mile mark. That's Mark St. Louis with Dancing Style showing on top. Maybe up on the outside to pour on the pressure, though, is Stonebridge Drago. At the rail third is Legendary Dura. Fourth is Dance My Life Away. On the outside fifth is Rockin' Volterra. Sixth is E.A. Voyne, the last horse, Dancing Suds.
59-3.
First half paced in 59 and 3/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. That is still Dancing Style with the lead. 3 lengths back second is Legendary Dura. Third along the rail is Stonebridge Drago. Fourth and pacing fastest of all on the outside is Rockin' Volterra. Right there fifth, that's Dance My Life Away, followed by E.A. Voyne and Dancing Suds. Past that 3/4 mile mark, that's Dancing Style now by about 5 lengths over Legendary Dura.
129-2.
3/4 in 129 and 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Dancing Style all alone in the front end. Looks like there's going to be a race for place position between Legendary Dura, Dance My Life Away, and Stonebridge Drago. As they race for home, though, it's going to be Dancing Style, and here they all come. Up for place, looks like it was Stonebridge Drago. Tight for show there between Rockin' Volterra and Legendary Dura.
158-2.
A mile in 158 and 2/5.
Somewhat of an upset at 9-5. On paper, the 6, Stonebridge Drago, looked very, very tough, but it was Dance in Style. Mark St. Louis, early double. Takes the first half with a 6, entered to win. Back half with a 1, Dance in Style. 29 and 2, 59-3, 129 and 2, home 158 and 2. Lifetime mark for the winner, Dancing Style. The 2-year-old bay go to the son of Dancing Yankee. Out of the Mach 3 mare, Nothing But Style. Highest select, $12,000 purchase last year. Makes it 5 in a row. 6 out of the last 7 for Dancing in Style.
I honestly thought Drew was going to clear before they got into the turn. I mean, he really sent that 6 horse, but Mark protected it well, and then Greg Bateson slid up the inside and blocked him out of the 2-hole.
And Drew had to back off. That's what I was just getting ready to comment on. Back off and take the 3-hole trip. Dancing, Stonebridge Drago really had a lot of speed in the stretch, but struggled in the turns. He just looked a little choppy, or like he was putting an extra step in around those turns. He just didn't look flat. But there was no doubt about this, and Dancing Style was a winner by open lengths. Stonebridge Drago finished second. I believe the 2, Legendary Dura, was third, and the 3, Rockin' Volterra, fourth. We wait the return of Mark St. Louis Jr. and Dancing Style. Home Miguel Migel of Westland, Michigan. Steve Novak trains. 6th of the season in 10 starts. 2 seconds to go along with it. Earnings now pushing $29,000.
To the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Westland, Michigan comes number 1, Dancing Style. Owned by Jerry Migel, trained by Steve Novak, and driven to victory by Mark St. Louis Jr. And Mark's tire marks are still there from the last race. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Cooper Grain Farm LLC and Amazing Racing Stable 2023. And Rod Cooper and his mother Rosemary are in the winner's circle for the trophy presentation. Let's have a big hand here for Jerry Migel, Steve Novak family, Mark St. Louis Jr., Stacy Curry, their dog Amy, and to the Cooper Grain Farm LLC and Amazing Racing Stable, the donors of the blanket. LLC, Amazing Racing Stable, the donors of the blanket. There are the official placings for race 2 from the top. Rowan Dancing Style was the winner. Number 2, Legendary Dura was third. Number 3, Rockin' Volterra was fourth. Number 4, Dance My Life Away was fifth. Number 5, Dancing Suds was 7th. Number 6, Stonebridge Drago was 2nd. Number 7, E.A. Voyne was 6th. Time of the first quarter was 29 2/5. The half was in 59 3/5. The 3 quarters was in 129 2/5, with a mile in 158 2/5, which is a new track record here for 2-year-old gelding pacers. The old track record was 158 4/5 by Rockin' Republic in 2020. A recheck from the top should read 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 2, 6 on the bottom. A mile in 158 2/5. New track record for 2-year-old gelding pacers.
I wondered about a track record on that. I don't have the list with me, but
I think I do. I'll have to check. Kim has been sending those out. Yeah. We do have the track records. That was 3-year-old Colt Pace. 2-year-old Colt Pace. Jesse's 2-year-old Colt Pace. Rockin' Republic, Ronnie Gillespie, 3 years ago, 58 4. This in 58 2, Dancing Style will put his name in the record books. Well, up next, first of 2 divisions of the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series. Emily Hay, Mandy Jones, Vicki Lynn Lake, Leslie George.
Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, Long Tom, and Bit of a Legend. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
The thrill and excitement of Grand Circuit Racing returns to the Delaware County Fairgrounds. Make your plans to attend the 78th Little Brown Jug.
You win the Little Brown Jug!
Little Brown Jug Week starts Sunday, September 17th with the 78th Little Brown Jug, Thursday the 21st. Visit littlebrownjug.com or call 1-800-DEL-FAIR for ticket information. Be there!
Own a little and love it a lot. TheStable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. TheStable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at TheStable.ca.
Well, we're back here at the Van Wert County Fairground. Up next, the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series. I'd like to touch on some of our fine sponsors. Just heard the memo there from the Little Brown Jug, which goes Sunday the 17th through the 21st. On a Thursday, the 78th running of the Jug will be Thursday at noon. Wednesday at noon, the 53rd Jugette. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, post time at 1. Wednesday and Thursday be a noon post time at Delaware. Box seats, $80. Top of the stretch, $60. Jugette Day, $100 for Jug Day. Drinks, buffet, meal, TV monitor. Pavilion Hill, it's at first turn in the clubhouse area. $180 for Jugette Day, $265 for Jug Day, or $375 for both. So you've never been to the Delaware County Fair, it is an experience. DelawareCountyFair.com or 800-DEL-FAIR. 800-DEL-FAIR to order tickets for the Little Brown Jug. You do not need tickets. They have general admission. Take your lawn chairs, sit all around the track. Midland Acres, another one of our fine sponsors, along with Cool Wind Farms, will be selling their yearlings at the Ohio Select Jug Sale at the Pickaway County Agricultural and Event Center in Circleville on Friday, September 15th. The sale begins at 10 a.m. Also, the stable.ca, if you would just like to purchase part of a horse for as little as a couple $100. Good way to say you own a horse. If you only own a few shares, not too much money involved. You do not have to buy the license, but you are still considered part of that stable, and they have been very successful. The third race up next, Matt, at Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series. We got 2 divisions tonight, so these ladies, they'll go at it.
Yeah, yep, it was a lot of fun. I think they had 2 divisions last year. Jennifer Main won them both, so she's looking to defend her title out here.
A year ago tonight, we had a late daily double by a husband and wife, Don and
Krista. Yep. Harmon. Yep.
Krista Harmon.
Yep.
Late daily double, Don and Krista Harmon. Don't see that too often.
I don't think I've ever seen it before.
I can't say it's the only time, but I bet it's not happened too many times.
Yeah.
Currently, our post-time favorite is the 2. Yes, I did. Mandy Jones. Her father, Brian Jones, trains. Here's the post parade with Bill Peters.
Farm of Ohio City. Number 1 is Royal Delta, owned by Emily and Colton Hay of Salina, trained and driven by Emily Hay. Number 2 is Yes I Did, owned by Mandy Jones of Greenville, Ohio, trained by Brian Jones, the driver, Mandy Jones. Number 3 is General Simba, owned by Sarah Hedworth of Orleans, Michigan, trained and driven by Vicki Lynn Lake. Number 4 is E.R. Simon, owned by David Beachy of Berlin, Ohio, trained by Kevin Goodell, driven by Leslie Joyce. Number 5 is Lady Anastasia, owned by DTS Racing Stable, LLC of Toledo, trained by Karen Takasik, the driver, Jennifer Main. Horses will take 1 short score and go to the gate. Mutual windows closing in 4 minutes.
Well, it's a field of 5. The 1 Royal Delta. Emily Hay owns, trains, and drives. 11-year-old bay mare by Royal Art. First start of the year. Did not start last year, if I recall. Royal Delta was a mom at least once or twice. Took a couple years off from racing. 2, Yes I Did, Mandy Jones. She owns her and drives. Brian Jones, her father, trains. The 3-year-old bay goes to the son of Shady Shark Hanover. 9 starts with 2 wins this year. $2,900 in earnings. Winner at Troy, 203 and 4. The 3, General Simba, Vicki Lynn Lake drives and trains. Lifetime, $128,000, not a back class for this, and is a 5-year-old, which would be about 9 years ago, 152 and 1 at Scioto, the mark for General Simba. Back class for the 4, E.R. Simon, Leslie Joyce, $211,000 lifetime. As a 6-year-old, just 3 years ago, a winner at Hoosier Park of 150 and 2. Rounding out the field, Jennifer Main will drive the 5, Lady Anastasia. Right at $56,000 for this, and the winner once this year, 6 lifetime. Took a mark 3 years ago as a 4-year-old at the Meadows, 155 and 4. Post-time favorite right now, the 2, Yes I Did, at even money. The 4, E.R. Simon, 7-2. The 5, Lady Anastasia, at 2-1. Field has completed their score. They're going to make their turn and get in behind the Mike Weppenberg starting gate. Emily Hay, Royal Delta, Mandy Jones, Yes I Did. Vicki Lynn Lake, General Simba, Leslie Joyce with E.R. Simon and Jennifer Main, and Lady Anastasia. This is the first of 2 divisions in the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series here at the Van Wert County Fair. Carolyn Belanger watching from Brockville, Ontario. Mike Eusted watching. Austin Hanners is watching tonight. I assume from Scioto Downs. Daryl Whitaker, Mark Reinhardt, From Sydney, Ohio, Alan Hoosier, Mike Bradley, Scott Tarleton, David Marek from Margate, Florida. Stay safe there in Florida. Tammy Boroff is watching from nearby Mendon, Ohio. Dick Courtney checks in. Is Emily Hay's husband related to Don Hay? Yes. Don Hay Sr., who trained Catfish and Wendy Mindy that Bill Henman drove, would be her husband's, Jason's grandpa. Gates rolling. Mike Wapkenberg has them all lined up, ready for a start. Let's go to Bill Peters for the call of the third.
Here they come. They're off and pacing the first horse away at the rail is Yes I Did. On the outside second is General Simba. Moving up third is E.R. Simon. In their fourth is Lady Anastasia, and the last horse is Royal Delta. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Mandy Jones has Yes I Did on top by a length. Racing in there second is General Simba, driven by Vicki Lynn Lake. Ranging up on the outside third is Lady Anastasia, driven by Jennifer Main. At the rail fourth, that's E.R. Simon, driven by Leslie Joyce, and the last horse is Royal Delta, driven by Emily Hay. Past the quarter-mile mark, that's still Yes I Did with the lead.
30 and 2/5.
First quarter pace in 30 and 2/5 seconds. That's Yes I Did with the lead. On the outside, pouring on the pressure is Lady Anastasia. Along the rail third, that's General Simba. Moving up on the outside fourth is E.R. Simon, and right there fifth is Royal Delta. Five pacers pretty well bunched as they race down to the half-mile mark. That's Yes I Did along the rail, and Lady Anastasia on the outside battling it out. Racing along on the outside third, that's E.R. Simon. At the rail fourth, that's General Simba with Royal Delta right there fifth.
101 and 2.
First half paced in 101 and 2/5 as they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that three-quarter-mile mark. That's still Yes I Did with the lead. Lady Anastasia hung out on the outside second. At the rail, locked in at the rail with no place to go at this point is General Simba third. On the outside fourth, E.R. Simon, followed by Royal Delta fifth. The pace picks up a wee bit going to the three-quarter-mile mark. That's still Yes I Did with the lead. On the outside second, Lady Anastasia. Now slipping through to gain second is General Simba. Dropping back through on the outside is Lady Anastasia.
132 and 2.
Three quarters in 132 and 2/5 as they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's still Yes I Did with the lead. Now Vicki Lynn Lake sees a little daylight and moves General Simba up on the outside to challenge. It's General Simba on the outside. Yes I Did at the rail second. General Simba and Yes I Did. It's gonna be General Simba, and here the outcome. Yes I Did up for place, up for show is Lady Anastasia. A mile in 2:01 and 4/5.
General Simba, Vicki Lynn Lake. 14-year-old bay gelding by Blissful Haw out of the Big Tanner mare. Pernella, Hanover. 128,000 lifetime, 2:01 and 4. Final half minute, 2/5. Second, the two, Yes I Did, who cut the mile for Mandy Jones. Third, the five, Lady Anastasia, Jennifer Main. Fourth, the four, E.R. Simon, Leslie Joyce. And fifth, the one, Royal Delta and Emily Hay. 30 and 2/5, 101 and 2, 132 and 2, 201 and 4. General Simba, Vicki Lynn Lake take the first division of the Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series.
Gonna have to take a look at the standings for that because Vicki Lynn Lake has been late to the scene, I guess, but that's 5 starts, 2 wins, and a third. I think all in the Springhaven Farm Lady Driving Series.
I should be able to pull it up here. It was posted just the other day.
Boy, are they supposed to get rain down here, Doug? In Van Wert?
I hope not.
Me too, but it's looking pretty dark.
Maybe that storm's moving in from Florida. Who? Okay, here I'm getting some standings. Yeah, I can't find them.
And now the way down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Orleans, Michigan, comes number 3, General Simba, owned by Sarah Hedworth and trained in every victory by Vicki Lynn Lake. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Matthews Farm of Ohio City. Let's have a big hand here for Vicki Lynn Lake, Joe Clore, and General Simba, and the Matthews Farm, the donors of the blanket. Here are the official placings for race 3 from the top. Number 1, Royal Delta was 5th. Number 2, Yes I Did, was 2nd. Number 3, General Simba was the winner. Number 4, E.R. Simon was 4th. Number 5, Lady Anastasia was 3rd. Time of the first quarter was 30 2/5. The half was in 101 2/5. The 3 quarters in 132 2/5. With a mile in 201 4/5. From the top it should read 5, 2, 1, 4, 3 on the bottom. The mile in 201 4/5. And the upcoming race 4
Frank.
will be winning
Frank will be here.
Boy, there is a line coming this way, Doug.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
I have no idea. It looks like it could possibly miss us, but I don't think so.
I'll be darned. Well, we're on to the race 4. The winner, $8, $210, $210, 3-2 exact to $59.60. 3-2 combination, 3-2 in all, $51.40 on the try. 3-year-old filly trot, hydraulic hazel, 11-4-11. Can they beat her?
I've been
On
nervous
paper,
all day.
they're not
I know.
supposed to beat
I was talking to
hydraulic
somebody
hazel.
earlier who said, then she got the rail. She could start out in the parking lot and probably still win.
You have to race the race,
Yep,
so you
yep.
never know. So it does look like rain maybe moving in. Hydraulic Hazel, Tom's Nancy Prunes Juice, Mia Hill. Field of 4 for $10,560. 3-year-old filly trotters. We'll be back to take a look at the 4th race right after this.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC Oil. It makes a world of difference.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio wants to thank all the breeders that supported our popular stallions, including new trotting sire Play Tricks on Me. Cool Winds also stands proven sire Mr. Apples in the great state of Ohio. Randy and Kim Haynes also stand the only full brother to Some Beach Somewhere, Bring on the Beach, sire of Heart of Chewbacca. Visit the Cool Winds consignment at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway Ag Center on Friday, September 15th.
Athletes, they come in all shapes and sizes. They catch, they leap, they run. Some athletes even come with 4 legs and paws and hooves. When these beloved family members need care, remember the Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio State experts wrote the book on exceptional animal care and know how to get our best friends back on their feet. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
Well, I just looked at the phone, and the percentage of rain at 8 o'clock, 100%. So I'd say that's a pretty good chance of rain.
I looked at noon before I left town, and there was none in the forecast.
Wow, unreal. So as we mentioned, the 1 Hydraulic Hazel is barred from the wagering. So 1-9 now on the 2 Toms Nancy, Pierce Henry, Chad Williamson. 13 starts, has no wins, 4 seconds, 3/3. 8,600 this year. Didn't take a mark yet. No wins as a 2-year-old, $11,000 purchase. 3 Prune Juice, Tom Moore Jr. trains, drives, and owns. 3 Bay Phillip, a Southwind Spirit, another striking Sauber mare. Up front striking, 6 starts yet to hit the board, 2,300 in earnings. Last year had 7 starts and did not hit the board. 4 Mia Hill, Ed Greeno Jr. trains and drives for E.G. Trot. 3 Bay Phillip, Wanta Hill out of the Jailhouse Jesse mare. And Jemana, 18 starts, a win, a second, 4/3, 10,500. Last year, winner 20,000, took a mark of 4 and 3 at Wapak as a 2-year-old. Qualified this year earlier at Miami Valley, 158 and 3. And the 1 Hydraulic Hazel, 11, 4, 11, 2 out of 3 last year, 13 out of 14 lifetime, 55,000, 155 and 4 this year at Scioto. 6 in a row on the program. Had a close call at Napoleon. I wasn't there that night, but you told me about it. Just won by a nose over Cali Red.
Yep, Clifton Bell and Chris Beaver trotter, and it was tight. It was real close. One more step and might have got her, but here she is, still perfect. I went back and saw her before the races.
Does she look like a good one? She a good-looking horse?
She really is. She's a real nice-looking, big and strong, good-looking filly. But they had her in the cross ties, I guess, right before I got there, and she gets real cranky when she doesn't get her way. She was kicking the walls and squealing at other horses and stuff, so they turned her loose, and she calmed right down. So she's just kind of set in her ways, I think, and you just ones like that, you just try to stay out of their way.
I get cranky too when I don't give them away. Doesn't do any good though.
Nope. You know that lady, who was Mia Hill, if she comes back to that race that she put in at Tiffin, I mean, that was a huge mile. And she is a real nice-looking filly, too, but just struggles with the gate, it looks like, or the first turn. Somewhere early, she's making a lot of breaks.
Yeah, when she stays trotting.
Yeah. Mark of 58 at Miami Valley, so. Like you say, that's why, I mean, you have to race them. But, I mean, I can't think of the last horse that I saw this much in person, especially. You know,
there was a trotter up in this circuit. Now, I can't think of his name. I'll think of it during the commercial. I'll go back. Somebody tell me it was up in this circuit back in about 19. He was unbeatable.
Time Storm, maybe?
Yep, you're something like that. Storm.
Kent Hess, I think, maybe.
Yep, you're right. I believe that's it.
The 2-year-old half-sister to Hydraulic Hazel just got sold. Ernie Ayers owned her and sold her earlier this week to Greg Bateson, actually, who was actually driving her quite a bit on this circuit.
Private sale?
Yeah, yep. Ernie said, it's just, he's retired, and it's getting to be too much. They never race on the same days, and a lot of shipping, so.
In a blanket in memory of Sully Waltmeyer. Number 1 is Hydraulic Hazel, owned by Ernie Ayers of Sand Creek, Michigan, and Ellen Belmore of Sylvania, Ohio, trained by Brian Boring, the driver, Greg Bateson. Number 2 is Tom's Nancy, owned by Rick Astle of Oakwood, trained by Chad Williamson, the driver, Pierce Henry. Number 3 is Prune Juice, owned, trained, and driven by Tom Moore Jr. of Napoleon. Number 4 is Mia Hill, owned by E.G. Trot, LLC of Findlay, trained and driven by Ed Greeno Jr. There's win and exacta wagering on this race, daily double wagering on races.
Well, she's a good-looking horse, but if I was just a fan looking to bet the horse that I thought looked the best in the post parade, it would be the 2, Tom's Nancy.
I love her too. I went back and saw Chad Williamson stabled here, and he was getting her ready to go warm up. She is real good looking.
Kind of got a blaze face. Pierce Henry to drive.
I think first time trotting hobbles I heard tonight.
Now, Yes, you're right. First time trotting hobbles on the 2 Tom's Nancy, who is currently the betting favorite at 4-5, with the 1 Hydraulic Hazel being barred. If you'd like to get a program, you can go to the OhioHarnessRacing.com and print a program off. They're always available 2 hours before post time. Tomorrow afternoon, you and I, Matt, will be at a 1 o'clock start at Findlay with 13 races. Also tomorrow at noon, Stark County Fair in Canton, Ohio. They're at noon Wednesday, noon Thursday. We're back here at noon on Thursday, and then we join up again on Thursday evening at the Hancock County Fair in Findlay. Burton, Ohio on Friday at 4:30, the only fair going on. It takes us into the weekend, Labor Day weekend, Saturday at 11, Monday at 11. Canfield, Mahoning County Fair, Fulton County Fair, Wauseon. Matt and I will be there on Saturday at 11:30. Tuesday at 6, that's at Wauseon. Great donuts there, Matt.
Yeah.
Wauseon. Richwood, I'll be on the mic at Richwood with the OHHA. Sunday at 11 and Monday at 1. Marietta, Steve Cross, the former announcer at Hoosier Park, will be calling the races at Marietta, the Washington County Fair. That's Sunday and Monday, the 3rd and 4th, noon post time each day. That's where the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association teams will be in the upcoming days. Greg Bateson, you say Hydraulic Hazel a little high strung. I noticed in the post parade, as soon as he got in the turn, he let the others go. He gave her a turn and got her all by herself, probably just to settle her down.
Yep, got her just walking over there now. And poor Prune Juice, too. I'd love to see her just stay trotting on these times because she's a big, good-looking filly, too. I know Tom Moore Jr. has put up with a lot of her making breaks, so one of these days she's going to get it figured out, too.
Mike Wepkenberg, our official starter here at the Van Wert County Fair. John Wiest, who's watching the seating, will be here with Mike's wife, Becky, on Thursday to start the action.
Here they come.
4 before.
The year off and trotting the first horse away along the rail is Hydraulic Hazel. Dropping in there second is Prune Juice. Moving up on the outside third, here is Mia Hill. The last horse off stride is Tom's Nancy. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Greg Bateson has Hydraulic Hazel on top by 3 lengths. Now off stride second goes Prune Juice, driven by Tom Moore Jr. Moving up third is Mia Hill, driven by Ed Greeno Jr. The last horse off stride is Tom's Nancy, driven by Pierce Henry. Horses are strung out a wee bit as they race past that quarter-mile mark. That's Hydraulic Hazel by about 12 lengths. Prune Juice trots second, followed by Mia Hill and Tom's Nancy.
32 and 2.
First quarter trotted in 32 and 2/5 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time, that's Hydraulic Hazel by about 12. Still racing second is Prune Juice. Third is Mia Hill, and farther back fourth, still off stride, is Tom's Nancy. Coming to the half-mile mark, that's Hydraulic Hazel all alone on the front end. Moving up on the outside second now, it is Mia Hill, but she goes off stride. Regaining second along the rail is Prune Juice.
104 and 2.
First half trotted in 104 and 2/5. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over the 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Hydraulic Hazel. Racing in there second is Prune Juice. Third is Mia Hill, and the last horse, Tom's Nancy. Going toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's Hydraulic Hazel by about 11. Still racing second, Prune Juice. Mia Hill is third, followed by Tom's Nancy, still off stride. Past the 3/4 mile mark. That's Hydraulic Hazel still with the lead.
134 and 2.
3/4 and 134 and 2/5. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt, Hydraulic Hazel now opens up about 20 lengths. See, racing second is Prune Juice, followed by Mia Hill and Tom's Nancy. Racing through the lane, that's Hydraulic Hazel and Prune Juice. It's going to be Hydraulic Hazel for the 12th time out of 12 starts this year. Up for second comes Prune Juice. A mile in 2:05 and 4/5.
Jiggy jog there for Hydraulic Hazel.
Yeah.
The other three jumped it off somewhere in a mile. Still got one to finish. That's the 4 Mia Hill. Hydraulic Hazel, 3-year-old Babe Phillip, Stormin' Norman out of the Jarnbro mare. Vegas Sunset, 12 for 12, 54,000 now this year, 60,000 lifetime. 14 wins out of 15 starts. 32 and 2, 104 and 2, 134 and 2, 205 and 4 for Hydraulic Hazel.
As an announcer, that's got to be a tough kind of race to call.
It's
there.
tough.
Short field anyway, and then three of them took themselves out of it right at the start.
You better remember who's first, because what happens a lot of times, they're strung out so far, and you're looking to see who's last, and then you get back, you think you're at the top of the field. Actually, you might have the second place horse. That's what happens. Yeah, I'd rather call 8 horses, I've said over and over, and they're all bunched up as 4. Our 5th race coming up will be first division of a signature series. Should be a good one. Moving to the winner's circle now. Hydraulic Hazel. She should be familiar with the winner's circle. She shouldn't be shy of the winner's circle.
Back into the winner's circle, where the winners go. Coming in from Sand Creek, Michigan, and Sylvania, Ohio, comes number 1, Hydraulic Hazel. Owned by Ernie Ayers and Ellen Belmore, trained by Brian Boring, and driven to victory this evening by Greg Bateson. The blanket for this race is given in memory of Salty Waltmeyer. Salty was a longtime racing fan here in Van Wert County. And this blanket is given in his memory. Let's have a big hand here for Ernie Ayers, Ellen Belmore, Brian Boring, Greg Bateson, and Hydraulic Hazel. And the family of Salty Waltmeyer for giving this blanket in his memory. Here are the official placings for race 4. Number 1, Hydraulic Hazel was the winner. Number 2, Tom's Nancy was 4th. Number 3, Prune Juice was 2nd. Number 4, Mia Hill was 3rd. Time of the first quarter was 32 and 2/5. The half was in 104 and 2/5. The 3/4 in 134 and 2/5. With a mile in 2:05 and 4/5. From the top it should read 142, 3 on the bottom. A mile in 2:05 and 4/5.
Tough one to chart too, I imagine.
Yeah. Through 580 for the winner. 3-4 exacta. 1180. Hydraulic Hazel, I'm sure, far and away leading the standings for the fair standings overall, from the Southern Valley Circuit to the Ohio Colt Racing Association to the Home Talent to the Ohio Fair Conference Circuit. I'm sure she is by far and away the leader of the 3-year-old filly trotters. That final goes October 14th at Northfield Park on a Saturday evening for $60,000. She'll probably be penciled in as a post-time favorite right now. It could be tough for her if she draws the outside there with all the good ones on.
Eventually,
they are going to come together from some other circuits.
Fantastic L is the one that comes to mind, because she is awfully tough of Hank Levan's. Yep.
And the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association will be there to cover that, as they will be We'll touch on the Ohio Super Night, Scarlet and Gray Night at Scioto Downs on September 9th. 18 races. Jim Ewart Memorial, the Charlie Hill Trot. 8 races for the $400,000 Ohio Sire Stake Championship. Consolation will also go that night. So 18 races. Post time that night at 5 at Scioto. That's September 9th.
That the Ewart Memorial was how Don Tiger put it, what they had circled on the calendar. Like the Greenville was kind of a tight.
That's probably his next start would be my guess.
That's what they were kind of shooting for. So we'll see what happens, but that might be the next Charlie May appearance.
And the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association will be covering the 5 days at Delaware again, beginning the 17th on a Sunday of September, Jug Day the 21st. So 5th race is up next. It's the Signature Series Pace. We'll be back to take a look at all 5 in this 5th race right after this.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
For over 50 years, Midland Acres has provided top-quality Ohio-bred colts and fillies. As a third-generation farm with 500 acres of pasture for breeding to boarding and on-site veterinarian care, we understand the importance of delivering well-cared-for and well-mannered yearlings. Get in the winner's circle with the yearlings by Fear the Dragon, Yankee Cruiser, Pet Rock, Long Tom, and Bit of a Legend. Midland Acres, doing our best to bring you the best.
With more than 300,000 horses in Ohio, the economic impact of the equine industry in the state is over $2.8 billion. Much of that value comes from standardbred horse owners, breeders, trainers, and drivers who participate in the sport of harness racing. The mission of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association is to preserve, protect, promote, and serve the entire standardbred industry in Ohio and beyond. To learn more about the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, go to ohha.com. That's ohha.com.
Well, we're back here at the Van Wert County Fairgrounds. 4 down, 4 to go, ready for the 5th. Debbie Fagan is watching from Edgewater, Florida, keeping her mind off of the hurricane. Michael Howard is watching. My wife Nancy Herholzer Ballinger is watching in Salina. 5th race coming up next. 4-year-old and up Signature Series, Peony Pace, the one, Whole Lot of Skyway. Drew Neal drives for Tom Byrne, 30 starts. Yet to find a winner's circle, 3 seconds. Right at 26,000 lifetime for the one, Whole Lot of Skyway. 2 o'clock, Johnny Pierce Henry for Mark Laffin. 3 wins this year in 27 starts, a second, 5 thirds. 30,000 lifetime, a lot of back class on this, and 238,000, 152-1 of Miami Valley earlier this year for the 2 o'clock Johnny. Pierce Henry will drive. 3, Brookview Bullet, Josh Klaus for Henry Graber. 3 wins, 15 starts, 2 seconds, 3 thirds, 50,000 this year, 334 lifetime, 149-1 at Hoosier Park, a winner this year at Miami Valley. Earlier this spring, 150-2. For JK's champ, Devin Miller for Tyler Cook. 4 wins, 6 seconds, 7 thirds, 63,000, 153 lifetime. 151-1 lifetime mark for the 4, JK's champ. Five, Locomotion Fred, Mark St. Louis Jr., Mark St. Louis, who swept the early double, looking for his 3rd driving win. 16 starts, 2 wins, a second, 4 thirds, 116,000 lifetime, 152-4 as a 4-year-old at Dayton. Earlier this year, 154 at Northfield Park. That's a look at the first division of the Springhaven Farm. the Peony Pace Signature Series. Getting set for the post parade, currently 2-5, the post time favorite to 3. Brookview Bullet. I don't believe Turek Seelster's here tonight, is he?
No, I wonder where.
I don't know where he would be.
Maybe I think he raced at Findlay last year, so maybe I haven't looked at the entries.
I didn't look at the entries at Findlay either.
Boy, there's a couple monsters in here. These are tough horses.
So we have 13 tomorrow at Findlay. Am I correct on that?
I believe so. Yep.
Okay.
Brookview Bullet's been off since May. But boy, 49 and 50, just about every mile in there. But JK's Champ has been racing really good ever since he came back home to Ohio.
Yeah, winner at Salina, 57-1, second beating the neck. Greenville, 54-3.
$1,000 in a blanket courtesy of Bare Bones Barbecue of Lima. Number 1 is Whole Lotta Skyway. He's a bay gelding, 4 years old, by Major Stone out of Skyway, Hanover, by Western Ideal. Owned by Tommy and Andrea Householder of Delaware. Trained by Tom Verne. Driven this evening by Drew Deal. Lifetime earnings over $25,000. A lifetime mark 157 1/5. Number 2 is 2 O'Clock Johnny. He's a black gelding, 7 years old, by Big Bad John out of Real Ravishing by Real Desire. Owned by Randy Bond of Cridersville and Mark Laughlin of Wapakoneta. Trained by Mark Laughlin. Driven this evening by Pierce Henry. Lifetime earnings over $238,000. A lifetime mark 152 1/5. Number 3 is Brookview Bullet. He's a bay gelding, 5 years old, by Always a Virgin out of Babylon's Sister by Cam Best. Owned by the 11 Star Stables of Portland, Indiana. Trained by Henry Graber Jr. Driven this evening by Josh Klaus. Lifetime earnings over $334,000. A lifetime mark 149 1/5. Number 4 is JK's Champ. He's a bay gelding, 5 years old, by J.K. Indavanera by Infinite Desire by Jenna's Beach Boy. Owned by Robert Rodriguez of Versailles, Ohio. Trained by Tyler Cook. Driven this evening by Devin Miller. Lifetime earnings over $153,000. A lifetime mark 151 1/5. Number 5 is Locomotion Fred. He's a brown horse, 8 years old, by Fred and Ginger out of Locomotion Baby by Cam Ocean. Owned and trained by Becky Zubkoff of LaSalle, Michigan. Driven this evening by Mark St. Louis Jr. Lifetime earnings over $116,000. A lifetime mark 152 4/5. Those are your horses for the first division of the 2023 Peony Pace. There's Win, Place, Exacta, and Trifecta Wager.
Not looking at the radar, Decatur, Indiana, the rain just about there. We may get lucky.
It looked like it was kind of splitting, maybe.
Yeah, and get finished. This is a 5th. Hours worth of racing to go. I don't know. It'll be close. We mentioned this at Peony Pace that they've been putting on for many years here at Van Wert. They're back at it here noon post time on Thursday. I believe it's an 11:30 post time then on Labor Day. They'll have harness racing, all overnight events, a couple ladies' paces, and a trot, maybe a pace and a trot, Springhaven Farm. Currently, I was told they have 2 entries for maybe 3 thoroughbred races.
I was going to ask if you'd heard anything from Roger about that. I know he was working awfully hard at it. He wants to bring it back here, but it's tough.
So
only he was having trouble getting jockeys, from what I understand. Yeah. There's only maybe like 2 jockeys.
You want a job, or are you busy?
Well, I'd try it, but I'm about 100 pounds overweight. I don't know if they make those kind of allowances at the county fair.
Talking about the jockeys, I hear I've read books on them. I love to go to Keeneland, and they'll just eat dry cereal a lot.
Really? It's a lifestyle. I couldn't do it.
With Locomotion Fred on the outside. They're at the post. Starting gate is rolling now. Here they come. The year off and pacing the first horse away at the rail is Whole Lotta Skyway. 2 o'clock Johnny in their second. Now taking over second on the outside is JK's Champ. Back to third is 2 o'clock Johnny. In their fourth is Brookview Bullet. And the last horse is Locomotion Fred. As they head down the backside to race over that quarter-mile mark, Drew Neal has Whole Lotta Skyway on top by a length and a half. Pacing second is JK's Champ, driven by Devin Miller. In their third, that's 2 o'clock Johnny, driven by Pierce Henry. Fourth is Brookview Bullet, driven by Josh Klaus. And the last horse is Locomotion Fred, driven by Mark St. Louis Jr.
29-3.
First quarter pace in 29 3/5 seconds. And now Devin Miller has moved JK's Champ up to take command. Dropping back second, that's Whole Lotta Skyway. Moving up on the outside third, now comes Brookview Bullet. Along the rail fourth, that's 2 o'clock Johnny. And the last horse is Locomotion Fred. As they race down to the half-mile mark. On the outside now with the lead is Brookview Bullet. At the rail second, that is JK's Champ. Up on the outside third is 2 o'clock Johnny. At the rail fourth, Whole Lotta Skyway. And the last horse, Locomotion Fred.
158-4.
First half pace in 58 4/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that 3/4 mile mark. That's Brookview Bullet on the outside. Along the rail second, that is JK's Champ. Racing third is Whole Lotta Skyway. On the outside fourth, 2 o'clock Johnny. And the last horse, Locomotion Fred. Going to that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Brookview Bullet on the outside with the lead, but not giving up along the rail. That's JK's Champ. Now moving up third. On the outside as they race around that turn comes 2 o'clock Johnny.
126-3.
3/4 in 126 3/5 as they make the turn to head for home. On the outside, that is Brookview Bullet. Along the rail, JK's Champ. Brookview Bullet and JK's Champ as they race through the lane. Brookview Bullet and JK's Champ. Brookview Bullet and JK's Champ. It's going to be Brookview Bullet, and here the outcome. JK's Champ up for place. 2 o'clock Johnny for show. A mile in 156 1/5.
Just a fifth of a second off the track record. Set in 2002 by JC and Jim Jackson. I assume the late Jim Jackson from Portland, Indiana. 56-1 for Brookview Bullet. 29-3, 58-4, 26-3, home 56-1. Brookview Bullet came first up at the half. Devin Miller drove a real nice race. Pace picked up, wasn't going to let him clear to the front.
I have a bad look with the poles here, looking through the camera. I thought that horse was going to clear, and then when I could see again, Devin had come right back and kept him out, and I mean, it was a battle from there.
JK's Champ second, 2 o'clock Johnny third, the 5, Locomotion Fred fourth, and fifth, the 1, Whole Lotta Skyway. The 3, Brookview Bullet, even money. The 4, JK's Champ at 4-5. They were your 2 post-time favorites. Josh Klaus.
Pretty headsy drive by him, too, because Devin never really got much of a break. She used him leaving and then, quarter move to get the lead, and then as soon as she cleared, I mean, here come the 3.
Talk right about back class and these Signature Series Pacers. Here's one. 334 lifetime, 149-1 at Hoosier Park. So a lot of back class for the winner, Brookview Bullet.
Off a few months. I mean, that's what these races are great for. Get one tightened back up and head back to the big track.
From Portland, Indiana comes number 3, Brookview Bullet. Owned by the 11 Star Stables, trained by Henry Graber Jr., driven to victory this evening by Josh Klaus. Pacing that mile in 156 1/5, just missing the track record by a fifth of a second. The blanket for this race is courtesy of Bare Bones Barbecue of Lima, and Angie of Bare Bones Barbecue is in the winner's circle for the trophy presentation. Let's have a big hand here for Josh Klaus and Brookview Bullet and the Bare Bones Barbecue, the donors of the blanket. There are the official placings for race 5 from the top. Number 1, Whole Lotta Skyway was 5th. Number 2, 2 O'Clock Johnny was 3rd. Number 3, Brookview Bullet was the winner. Number 4, JK's Champ was 2nd. Number 5, Locomotion Fred was 4th. Time of the first quarter was 29 3/5. A half was in 58 4/5. A 3/4 in 126 2/5. With a mile in 156 1/5. Metavish raid 5, 3, 1, 2, 4 on the bottom. The mile in 156 1/5.
Up next, 2-year-old filly Pace for 11,940. Scratched down to a field of 5 with a scratch of the 2 Robin Hill High. We'll be back to take a look at that 2-year-old filly Pace right after this.
Do you want your horse to shine in the winner's circle? Feed DAC oil. It makes a world of difference.
Own a little and love it a lot. The Stable.ca is an award-winning fractional ownership operation. Buy as little as 1% of a racehorse and experience 100% of the thrill. The Stable.ca makes ownership easy, accessible, and affordable. Communication and customer service are at the heart of everything we do. Get started at thestable.ca.
Sun's out, guns out, hot summer fun.
Hot summer fun. Hot summer fun.
Well, we're back at Van Wert County Fair, Ohio Fair Racing Conference action. We would like to thank our great sponsors, Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply, Midland Acres, The Little Brown Jug, Stable.ca, DAC Vitamins, and Cool Wind Farms. Big thank you to these sponsors for helping with the broadcast this year.
One of the blanket attendants is Kip Hartman, which he watches our broadcast a lot. Scott Tarleton just mentioned that. Okay. I was looking back. Sounds like Turig Silster is in at Finley. Mark Bevelheimer said that he's in over there at Finley.
Finley, I'm going to guess that would be Thursday evening, being their school on Wednesday, and Philip Groves is a school teacher.
Oh.
So I'm guessing that's when it would be. But I could be all wet on that. Sixth race, 2-year-old filly Pace, $11,900. We have a 1, 1A, a 2, and a 2A. The 2 Robin Hill High is scratched. 1 West Malibu, Drew Neal for Brian Boring. Brian Boring did have 4 in here, who have 3 starters in here. West Malibu, Drew Neal, the winner once this year, 202 and 4 at Napoleon. Stablemate, the 1A, Outspoken Izzy, Justin Irvine. Brian Boring, the 2-year-old bay filly by Well Said. Out of the Jet Log Mare, Impressive Lizzie. 8 starts, 3 wins, 4 seconds at third, 14,500 at Tiffin. Came home a winner in 201 and 3, the 1A, Outspoken Izzy. 2 Robin Hill High has a scratch, 2A, Nenia Beeswax, Justin Irvin for Brian Boring. Boring owns a partnership, Jennifer Vollmer. 2-year-old Brown Philip Well Said out of He's All That Mare. She Be Josie. 2 wins, 5 seconds, a third, and 8 starts, 12,500. Attica was a winner, 203 and 2. 3 Gorgeous Ivory. Doc Holliday trains and dries. This the Bay Philly. I'm Gorgeous out of the Liz Marie mare, Arliana Deo. 6 wins, 4 seconds, a third in 11 starts. 21,000. A winner at Wilmington, 201. Winner 3 times in a row, Lima, Salina, and Attica. The 4, Word to the Wise, driver to be announced. Paul Closier. Pierce Henry. Pierce Henry drives the 4, Word to the Wise. This the Bay Philip, a loss for words out of the Tell All mare. Palladium Spirit. 3 starts, 3 thirds, right at $1,100. Race 7, Michigan. Last start at Hicksville. Finished third, beaten 5, the mile 202 and 4. Word to the Wise. Faced that mile in 3 and 4. Here's the post parade for the 6th race. I believe we're going to have to get the lights on here pretty quick.
Yeah, I'd think. Looks like they're going to take a quick turn here. Yeah, sorry about the graphics. When I look at them on the USTA website, it just has them in the order that they're going to be on the gate. I didn't see, I knew it was going to be an entry, but I didn't have them listed as 1A, 2A. I asked Brian Boring which one of these I could drive tonight. He probably would have gave me Robin Hill High, the one that scratched. He did say I could use his colors.
Now, would he be the son of the late Chris Boring? I think
nephew.
Nephew is. I shouldn't say
his
the
dad.
Chris
Brian's
was
dad.
inducted into the Hall of Fame just a few years ago. I guess that's what I meant.
Okay, yeah.
Chris Boring was inducted. Colt 46, I believe, in the Little Brown Jug. Correct me. I think I'm wrong on the late Chris Boring. I meant he was inducted into the Harness Racing Hall of Fame at Goshen, New York, about 3 years ago. And he did win the jug, I believe, with Colt 46.
Yep, and we just talked about this, and people went nuts that I didn't remember the other one. Well, he had several good ones, but did he win it twice?
That I can't say.
He had
I used
really
to be able
good
to go
horse.
about
I know.
every year. Last year was, Chris Page and By the Missile. I'd like to get an interview lined up with Chris Page for some time at Delaware this week on the 5 days at Delaware, asking him about that jug win and how much it meant to him and what he thought of that week leading up to it, because he trains there at Delaware. I hear rumor he rides his bike to the Delaware County Fairgrounds.
In Michigan, trained by Brian Boring, driven by Drew Neal, will score out of post position 1. Number 1A is Outspoken Izzy. She owned by Travis Boring of Clayton, Michigan, trained by Brian Boring, driven by Justin Irvin, will score out of post position 4. Number 2, Robin Hill High has been drawn. Number 2A is Nunya Beeswax, owned by Brian Boring of Adrian, Michigan, and Jennifer Vollmer, LaSalle, Michigan, trained by Brian Boring, driven by Greg Bateson, will score out of post position 5. Number 3 is Gorgeous Ivory, owned by Renee Halesko of Marysville, Ohio, and Crazy Parrot Farm LLC of Frisco, Texas, trained and driven by Ken Holliday, will score out of post position 2. And number 4 is Word to the Wise, owned by Laces Racing of Sheridan, Michigan, trained by Joe Clure, driven by Pierce Henry, will score out of post position 3. There's win and exacta wagering here in race 6.
Talking about Chris Page and the jug last year, Roger Houston spent the week in Greenville at a hotel there, and he would drive to my place in Salina, and he would go to Lima and work with the OHHA set and called a couple races. He'd never called a race at Lima. We got talking about Chris Page and the jug, and I said, well, I called Chris Page's first win in the early 2000s on a Sunday afternoon in Urbana. He said, no, you didn't. He said, it came at Mount Vernon. So I think I'm right. Roger thinks he's right. So guess one way to find out, if I do get an interview with Chris Page, Jug Week, he'll settle it. So currently the 4-5 post-time favorite, West Malibu. 4-5, 7-5 on the 3. None of you beeswax. Looking at the radar, I'm afraid we're going to get wet.
Boy, I would sure like to not be parked in the infield today.
80% at 8, 70 at 9.
Albert was the other Chris Boring horse.
Albert, when you said that, I knew where you were coming from.
Thank you, Kathy
Albert,
Clark.
Albert.
My research team up in Blissfield, Michigan. Brian and Kathy Clark helping me out.
Chris Boring, I'm sorry that I made that comment. The late Chris Boring, I meant that he was inducted into the Hall of Fame like 3 years ago. I believe he went in the year with great trainer from Pennsylvania. My mind blank. Oh, who trains by the missile?
Burke?
Ron Burke. I could. Wow. Albert. Jim Jackson of Flowersville, Michigan. Okay, said also there's the Jim Jackson. It was important. That's the only Jim Jackson I really knew of. No rain in Decatur at this time. So about another 35 to 40 minutes. We should be okay if we can get out of here. 35 minutes. No track lights yet. Well, on the backside I see lights, but boy, it is dark here in the stretch.
It sure is.
Here they come. Here, off and pacing the first horse away is West Malibu. On the outside second is Gorgeous Ivory. Dropping in there third, that is Word to the Wise. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark. Now Ken Holliday moves Gorgeous Ivory up on the outside to gain command. Dropping back second is West Malibu, driven by Drew Neal. Moving up third along the rail, that is just Outspoken Izzy, driven by Justin Irvin. Racing in there fourth, that is down the backside fourth, that is Word to the Wise, driven by Pierce Henry. And the last horse is None Ya Beeswax, driven by Greg Mason.
30 and 3.
First quarter pace in 30 and 3/5 seconds. That's Gorgeous Ivory on top by a length and a half. Still racing second is West Malibu. Racing in there third, that's Outspoken Izzy. Fourth along the rail, that is Word to the Wise. And the last horse is None Ya Beeswax. Coming to the half-mile mark, that's Ken Holliday and Gorgeous Ivory bringing the horses down to the half. Setting into the golden chair second, that's Drew Neal with West Malibu. Now he's out and on the move, and also on the move on the outside third comes Outspoken Izzy. First half paced in 101 and 3/5. 5 fillies pretty well bunched as they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. That's Gorgeous Ivory along the rail with the lead. On the outside second is Outspoken Izzy. At the rail third is West Malibu. Moving up on the outside fourth is None Ya Beeswax. And the last horse is Word to the Wise. Going toward that 3/4 mile mark. That's still Gorgeous Ivory with the lead. On the outside second, Outspoken Izzy. Moving up third is None Ya Beeswax. At the rail fourth is West Malibu, and closing in fifth is Word to the Wise. 3/4 and 134 and 2/5, and only about 4 lengths separate all 5 fillies. With the lead along the rail, Gorgeous Ivory. On the outside second, Outspoken Izzy as he race toward home. Gorgeous Ivory at the rail. Outspoken Izzy on the outside. Gorgeous Ivory and Outspoken Izzy. Gorgeous Ivory at the rail. Outspoken Izzy on the outside. Gorgeous Ivory and Outspoken Izzy. Gorgeous Ivory and Outspoken Izzy. Photo for win between Gorgeous Ivory and Outspoken Izzy. Looked like West Malibu got up for third. A mile and 2:03 and 1/5.
It's cooling off, and I can feel rain, smell a little rain.
I mean, when they're in this turn right in front of us, it's hard to see the horses and drivers. I mean, it is getting that dark out here. It's tough to show on the camera because the camera's trying to pick up any light that it can, but I mean, there's not much to be had out here. It is dark.
Apparently there's track lights, but they're not on. It looks to me, is that the parking lot back there? But they look like they're shining toward the track on the backside.
Yeah, I can't tell. I don't know if that's, that might just be the campground back there. Lights for the, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm telling you, on camera it looks deceiving because it is dark out here.
The winner, the 3, Gorgeous Ivory, Doc Holliday. 30 and 3/5, 101 and 3, 134 and 2, 203 and 1.
And now moving down the track into the winner's circle where the winners go. Coming in from Marysville, Ohio. Frisco, Texas, comes number 3, Gorgeous Ivory. Owned by Renee Halesko and the Crazy Parrot Farm LLC. Trained into victory by Ken Holliday. This is the Leonard Steeman Memorial Pace. Members of the Steeman family are in the winner's circle for the trophy presentation.
Thought I heard Paul Combs there asking for some track lights in the background.
Yeah, I would say before we go with the next one, they're going to want to get those lights on, but they're going to want to go with the next one. I would think pretty quick with the rain
That's
threatening.
a big hand here for Ken Holliday, Renee Halesko, and Gorgeous Ivory, and for members of the Steeman family for giving this blanket in memory of Leonard. Your attention to the barns. Bring your horses on out for race 7. Race 7, bring them on out.
They may be taking a look at that break in the first turn before they get the rundown to us here.
The winner, 440, exacta 540.
Number 1, West Malibu was 3rd. Number 1A, Outspoken Izzy was 2nd. Number 2, Robin Hill High had been drawn. Number 2A, Nunya Beeswax was 4th. Number 3, Gorgeous Ivory was a winner. And number 4, Word to the Wise was 5th. Time of the first quarter was 30 and 3/5. The half was in 101 and 3/5. The 3 quarters in 134 and 2/5. With a mile in 203 and 1/5. From the top it should read 3-2 scratch 415. A mile in 203 and 1/5.
Round of applause for the track electrician when the lights came on there.
In the upcoming race 7, there will be win, place, exacta, and trifecta wagering.
So that's 4 in a row for the winner, Gorgeous Ivory. Winner at Atticus, Lima, and here at Van Werten, 203 and 1. Well, we do have the track lights. That came up so quick. That darkness.
It sure did.
So quick. 7th race up next, Springhaven Farm Ladies Driving Series. Emma Wahlberg, Jennifer Main, Leslie Joyce, and Devin Miller. We'll be back to take a look at that 7th right after this.
The fall of 1855 saw the founding of the annual Van Wert County Fair. Earlier that same year, a local newspaper had pushed the Agricultural Society to host a fair promoting area farm development. Despite public demand, the first fair was humbling. The one-day event had 1 horse, few poultry, a pig, 2 cows, and just some artwork to exhibit. However, by 1857, the fair had become so competitive that land was purchased to keep up with expansion. For only $187, the Van Wert County Fair finally had a permanent home. In 2 decades, the fair had extended to 3 days, and admission was increased to 25 cents per person. A saloon, Wheel of Fortune, dance floor, and racetrack had all been added to the grounds. A $20 purse was given to the fastest trotter of the day. Today, the Van Wert County Fair is a member of the Ohio Fair Racing Conference.
The roots of harness racing are born at the county fairs. For over 150 years, people have gathered to watch horses battle it out for fame and glory. Catch the thrills this summer at an Ohio Fair Racing Conference County Fair. The OFRC races at 21 fairs in 19 Ohio counties. Trotters and pacers put it all on the line to be called the best in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Racing Conference, where the path to greatness begins.
Some important dates coming up here in the Buckeye State. The Ohio Select Sale, Friday, September 15th at 10 a.m. at Circleville at the Pickaway County Fairground. Ohio Super Night at Scioto Downs, that great new grandstand, Saturday the 9th. An early post time at 5. Plan now to attend or join the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association broadcast team for the broadcast of that great evening. 18 races, early post time at 5. $400,000 Sire Stake Championships, the Jim Ewert Memorial, the Charlie Hill Trot, Little Brown Jug coming up September 17th through the 21st, Sunday through Thursday. Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association once again will present the 5 days of Delaware. Opening soon, I believe on the 26th of September, will be on Tuesday the 26th, Dayton Hollywood Gaming off of Needmore Road on I-75. They open up their 70-day meet and run through December 31st. And then it'll be starting it all over again at Miami Valley at the first of the year. January through May. Scioto is set to close here at about the 16th roughly of September. Northfield Park year-round up at Cleveland at Northfield, Ohio. They offer some 220 to 225 days of racing, 4 nights a week. Matt, the Buckeye State has so much to offer. 125 nights of county fair racing. With your Perry Mutual dates, it gives you 600 or better days of racing here in the state of Ohio. So it's a great place to own a horse in a fractional ownership stable or go to one of these sales and get involved, buy a racehorse and race here in Ohio. You can be in California and own a horse and watch it race right here on the
any level.
OHHA broadcast.
That's what I think is so great about these broadcasts is, I mean, it lands under the guise of outreach and under the OHHA, and I think that's exactly what it does. Anybody can own a horse or part of a horse from anywhere and watch it.
Vosik of Mineral City, Ohio, the driver Emma Wahlberg. Number 3 is Anoche, all by Gary Wilmoth of Erie, Michigan, trained by Karen Takasik, the driver Jennifer Main. Number 4 is Illusionist Hanover, owned by Stacy Curry of Thornville, Ohio, trained by Kevin Goodell. The driver is Leslie Joyce. Number 5 is Fred's Nightmare, owned by Tactical Advantage Stable LLC of LaSalle, Michigan, trained by Becky Zubkoff. The driver Devin Miller. Horses will take 1 score and go to the gate. Mutual windows closing in 4 minutes. There's Win.
Talking about the fractional ownership's a good way. Kevin Sittebush, a good friend of mine from the Allen County Fair, I believe he's in with the stable.ca, and he's just having a ball. He's had some good horses. Very, very little money invested. He's part ownership. He gets to go to the track and say, that's my horse. I can go to the winner's circle. Cedar Point Racing. Their fractional ownership, Horseplay Racing, Jessica Schroeder, Grove City, and one of our prime sponsors, the stable.ca. I know last year, I don't know if it was Jason McGinnis or who it was from the stable.ca who was doing the speaking, but he could sell you on about anything. Remember that day he talked at Delaware? Maybe Frank or somebody can get him again this year between races and explain how the fractional ownership works. I mean,
Anthony McDonald, I think he was actually...
Was it Anthony that was doing the... Oh, my.
He
was a salesman.
Yeah, snow to an Eskimo, if that's what the saying is. But from what I understand, he actually either thought about running for office up there in Ontario, or maybe he did. I don't know. But, I mean, he could talk me into just about anything. I mean, he is something else, but he is such a proponent for Ohio racing. I mean, he just talks it up so much, and he fully understands, all the opportunities that are here. And I mean, he buys a lot of Ohio breds and has them racing at every level here.
Yes.
So,
and it's I'm just going to throw the figure out there. You could buy a fractional ownership of a horse if it sells for $20,000 at the Buckeye Classic, for as 1%, for $1,000. You have a very small training bill. Maybe they tell me $25 a month. It all depends on how many shares you own. But naturally, you would get less of the purse. But you're part owner of that horse. So for more information, get a hold of the stable.ca or get a hold of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association office if you would like to get involved in harness racing to start out this way anyhow in the fractional ownership.
He's very hands-on, too. I mean, he lives up in Ontario, but he's down here a lot, driving, the horses at the fairs. And
real quickly, a friend of ours that does charting and works the fairs, Rick Gleason from the Lebanon, Ohio area, him and his wife own a pretty good percentage of the fractional part of Mage, who won the Kentucky Derby. So you never know how lucky you could be and get purchased in this fractional ownership. Let's go to Bill Peters with a call, the 7th.
Here they come. Here, off and pacing the first horse away on the outside, it's Fred's Nightmare. Now taking over along the rail, it's Fleisch Lohmann. Up again there second, that's Anoche. Moving up third between horses is Illusionist Hanover. Now taking a seat fourth, that's going to be Fred's Nightmare. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, Emma Wahlberg has Fleisch Lohmann on top by a length and a half. Pacing second is Anoche, driven by Jennifer Main. Third is Illusionist Hanover, driven by Leslie Joyce. The last horse, Fred's Nightmare, driven by Devin Miller. Past that quarter-mile mark, that's Fleisch Lohmann by a length and a half.
29 and 2.
First quarter paced in 29 and 2/5 seconds. That's Fleisch Lohmann by a length and a half over Anoche. Still racing third is Illusionist Hanover, and the last horse is Fred's Nightmare. Horses are pretty well bunched as they race down toward the half-mile mark. That's Emma Wahlberg with Fleisch Lohmann along the rail with the lead, but pouring on the pressure now on the outside second is Jennifer Main with Anoche. At the rail third, Illusionist Hanover on the outside fourth, Fred's Nightmare. Past the half-mile mark, that's Fleisch Lohmann still with the lead with Anoche on the outside second.
59 and 2.
First half paced in 59 and 2/5 seconds. As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over that three-quarter mile mark. The one to catch is Fleisch Lohmann. The closest horse second on the outside is Anoche. Now 3 wide comes Fred's Nightmare. And the last horse to this point is Illusionist Hanover. Going toward that three-quarter mile mark. That's Fleisch Lohmann along the rail and Fred's Nightmare on the outside battling it out. That's still Fred's Nightmare now takes over, driving back second. Fleisch Lohmann on the outside. Third is Anoche at the rail. Fourth, Illusionist Hanover.
128 and 4.
3 quarters in 128 and 4/5. That's Fred's Nightmare now opening up about 3.5 lengths on Fleisch Lohmann. On the outside, third, Anoche at the rail. Fourth, Illusionist Hanover. As they race for home, that's Fred's Nightmare and Fleisch Lohmann. It's going to be Fred's Nightmare, and here the outcome. Up for place is Fleisch Lohmann. And up for third as Anoche. A mile in 1:57 and 1/5.
Haven't seen a lot of 3 wide moves tonight. That was a
very nice drive that set up 29-2, 59 and 2 for Devin. She pulled right, headed to the backside that final time at the 5/8 and cleared right, past 3 quarters to 28 and 4, home 57 and 1. Nice.
158 and 1/5.
158 and 1.
158 and 1/5.
Still a good last quarter.
Yeah. That's 3 in a row for Fred's Nightmare. Coming off a win on Friday, the 19th at Northville, at Hicksville. On the 23rd, I believe last Tuesday, Devin Miller drove 59 and 3. 58-1 here at the Van Wert County Fair. Fred's Nightmare the winner. Flash Lomont was second. Noche was third. Illusionist Hanover was fourth. And the one Pronto Tonto was scratched. 4-5 post-time favorite was the winner, the 5 Fred's Nightmare, 7th of the season.
My mom asked about Bowman's Texas Tenderloins behind the grandstand, and they have done quite well for themselves. They are still there, but they were in disguise. It used to be a little yellow trailer that they sold. I mean, there's always a line. And
they've been here for years.
Now it's like a 2-story tour bus almost that they're selling.
Well, years ago, it started in Greenville that Drummer Boy Chicken would give out a chicken dinner to the winning driver, and then Bowman started it when Drummer Boy, and then Bowman started that at a lot of fairs, but 7-8 years now they have not been passing out the sandwiches. Let's go to Bill Peters, Devin Miller to the winner's circle.
A blanket for this race is courtesy of Kesson Veterinary Clinic in Delphus. And Dennis and Laura Putman are in the winner's circle for the trophy presentation.
Scratch, 2, 3, 4.
Let's have a big hand here for Tony and Becky Zubkoff, Devin Miller, and Fred's Nightmare. And to Kesson Veterinary Clinic, the donors of the blanket. Here are the official placings for race 7 from the top. Number 1, Pronto Tonto had been drawn. Number 2, Fleisch Lohmann was second. Number 3, Anoche was third. Number 4, Illusionist Hanover was fourth. Number 5, Fred's Nightmare was the winner. Time of the first quarter was 29 2/5. The half was in 59 2/5. The 3 quarters in 128 4/5. With a mile in 158 1/5. From the top it should read, scratch, 2, 3, 4, 1 on the bottom. A mile in 158 1/5.
Fred's Nightmare, 380, 210, exacta, 440, try, 1860. Devin Miller, Fred's Nightmare. Devin, the daughter of a Hall of Fame driver, David Miller. 8th race next. 2nd Division P&E Pace Signature Series. Speaking Out, Universal, Headbanger, PB's on Fire. And the 5, Last Bet is scratched. David Ward is slated to drive the 2. Has David been here tonight?
No, I haven't seen him yet. I'm sure that'll, well, maybe
very well could be changed, but he could be here. We're going to be back after these messages to take a look at this 8th race.
Your animals provide unconditional love. When they hurt, you want the best care available to help them enjoy life again. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center is here for you and for them. From heart disease to cancer, diabetes to broken bones, and 24-hour emergency services, Ohio State's team of experts make a difference in the lives of animals and the family members who love them. The Ohio State Veterinary Medical Center.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out, Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Cool Winds Farm in Lima, Ohio is a full-service standardbred breeding facility that specializes in stallion management. Cool Winds Farm stands the popular Dancin' Yankee, whose first crop of 2-year-olds are now racing. Cool Winds also welcomed Western Fame to their stallion barn, who won nearly $2 million competing against the best pacers of his generation. Be sure to inspect the Cool Winds yearlings at the Ohio Selected Jug Sale at Pickaway on Friday, September 15th.
Well, we're back here at the Van Wert County Fair. Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association, well represented here tonight. President Steve Bateson won the first race with Entered to Win, and Rusty Voorhees, a director from Saline, Ohio, in attendance tonight, representing his district here at the Van Wert County Fair. Rusty got a nice trotter this year, joined Enterprise.
Finished second down there.
Finished second in the partial.
Yep.
Steve Bateson got a win here tonight.
Sounds like, what do you say, Kenton might be the next
Kenton, I
stop
think
for
he said.
Joint Enterprise.
1-9 on the 2. He's our post-time favorite at this time.
Opening night of the fair here. I think when you guys come back Thursday, it'll be quite a bit busier. I think it just started at 6 tonight, right? Was the official grand opening?
And I'm pretty sure it'll be a fun day. It'll be, if they do it like in the past, it's been the Veterans Day, and they honor every branch. They play their song. I really like that.
Yep.
I like to listen to that music. And they feed the veterans down there in the tent they have down there at the top of the stretch. They'll feed the veterans. We got 3 out, 1 to go. You can hear Bill Peters in the background. Official starter, Mike Wepkenberg, pulls his gate onto the track for the 8th race. Mike, who is busy building another starting gate, wants to have it finished by Little Brown Jug Week. Mike builds gates. They're in Canada. The Meadows has a gate.
You know, I was thinking about that.
Yonkers.
The other day, you know, we are tough on some of our equipment, but those starting gates take a pretty good beating all summer long, too. I mean, they've got all the highway miles just getting from point A to point B. I think they pretty much sit in idle the whole time that they're here. And then just the way they have to drive them at the start, you know, I mean, go from 30 to 60.
And it's not easy getting in and out of that gate. That's a rough job. I wouldn't tell that to Mike Wepkenberg, because I always kid him. He couldn't be an announcer. It's rougher than being a starter. We go back and forth on that. Mike's probably listening right now.
Air conditioning doesn't seem like such a bad part of the job some days, but there's a lot more to it.
He pays for it at Miami Valley and at the end of Dayton when it's getting cold.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Your getaway race for this evening's program. This is the second division of the Peony Pace for 4-year-olds and up, a part of the Signature Series, going for a purse of $3,000 and a blanket given in loving memory of Dean Dino Mollenkopf. Number 1 is Speaking Out. He's a bay gelding, 11 years old, by Better's Delight out of Red Carpet Queen by Western Hanover, owned by Amy Wengert of Worcester, trained by Tommy Vosick, driven this evening by Emma Wahlberg, lifetime earnings over $273,000, a lifetime mark 151 2/5. Number 2 is Universal. He's a bay gelding, 4 years old, by Down by the Seaside out of Agna Bluegrass by Whitefish Falls, owned by Hickory View Farm of Circleville, Ohio, trained by Tom Blankenship, driven this evening by David Ward, lifetime earnings over $92,000, a lifetime mark 151 1/5. Number 3 is Headbanger. He's a bay gelding, 7 years old, by a rock and roll dance out of Raiders Favorite by Keystone Raider, owned by Hader Stables LLC of Temperance, Michigan, trained by Greg Bateson, driven this evening by Jennifer Main, lifetime earnings over $143,000, a lifetime mark 150 4/5. Number 4 is PB's on Fire. He's a brown gelding, 8 years old, by Panther Hanover out of Dreams on Fire by San Gimignano, owned by DTS Racing Stable LLC of Toledo, trained by Karen Takasik, driven this evening by Pierce Henry, lifetime earnings over $104,000, a lifetime mark 155 1/5. And number 5, Last Bet, has been drawn.
My phone is showing a drizzle in the area, so somewhere in the area we're getting a little rain.
Okay. We can
get notifications when rain or snow is starting. I hope they're not talking about, I don't believe we're talking about snow. The rain to start soon in Salina. So it's going to get here at Van Wert. Rusty Voorhees is heading out tonight so he can go home and jog Joint Enterprise tomorrow.
You guys don't want to get wet.
Rusty trying to beat the rain out of here. Yeah, for as dark as it got there and as ominous as it looked, it really, I think we lucked out getting all these in dry, so happy for that.
Winner of the second gift card, giving away the gas card, giving away tonight. Ed Young.
So we're wasting no time here. We're going right to the gate. 8:29. 4 races in 4 races an hour, 8 and 2, right on schedule.
Here they come. They're off and pacing. The first horse away is Universal. Dropping in there second is Headbanger. Up on the outside third, that's PB's on Fire. And the last horse is Speaking Out. As they make the turn now to head down the backside to race over toward that quarter-mile mark, David Ward has Universal on top by 2 lengths. Pacing second is Headbanger, driven by Jennifer Main. Racing in there third is PB's on Fire, driven by Pierce Henry. And the last horse is Speaking Out, driven by Emma Wahlberg. Going to that quarter-mile mark, there's no change. That's Universal on top by 2.5 lengths over Headbanger. Still racing in there third is PB's on Fire, and racing fourth, that is Speaking Out. First quarter paced in 30 seconds. As they race around that upper turn to come down past the stands for the first time, a Universal opens up about 3.5 lengths now on Headbanger. Still racing in there third, that's PB's on Fire, followed by Speaking Out. No change coming to the half-mile mark. That's David Ward and Universal bringing the horses down to the half. About 4.5 lengths back second is Headbanger. PB's on Fire right there third, followed by Speaking Out.
I lost it. I don't have time for you, Bill.
As they round the turn now to head down the backside to race over to that 3/4 mile mark. The one to catch is Universal. The closest horse second is Headbanger. Still racing third, PB's on Fire. The last horse Speaking Out. And now Universal opens up about 7.5 lengths on Headbanger. Still racing third, PB's on Fire, followed by Speaking Out.
128.
3/4 is in 128. As they race around that upper turn to head for pay dirt. That's Universal now opening up about 12.5 lengths on Headbanger. Still racing third is PB's on Fire, followed by Speaking Out. As they race toward home, that's Universal and Headbanger. Universal and Headbanger. It's going to be Universal wire to wire, and here the outcome. Headbanger up for place. Up for the third spot is PB's on Fire. A mile in 1:56 and 2/5.
David Ward said, sure, I'll come up and drive that one horse.
I didn't even notice in the post parade if it was David Ward until they was past the quarter. I could look over there. I knew it was David Ward with those green colors. So fans filing out. I believe we beat the weather, Matt. The winner, Universal, David Ward for Tom Blankenship. 5th of the season. This is the night, 1:56 and 2. 2/5 of a second off of the track record, 30 seconds. They didn't give us a halftime. I think they're trying to figure that out now. They might have to just calculate it if they forgot to stop the watch. I'm going to guess 59 and 4 for the half, they're going to say. 59 and 3. 3/4, 128, 56 and 2. I'll say 59 and 4 for the half, see what they come up with.
They had a nice little crowd here tonight.
Yeah, nice crowd. Oh,
From Circleville, Ohio, comes number 2, Universal, owned by the Hickory View Farm, trained by Tom Blankenship, and driven to victory this evening by David Ward. A blanket for this race is given in loving memory of Dean Dino Mollenkoff. Members of the Mollenkoff family are in the winner's circle for the trophy presentation. Now we also have a blanket for the Peony Pace, and that'll go to the winner of the first division, winning in a faster time by a fifth of a second there in the first division. Let's have a big hand here for David Ward, Tom Blankenship, and Universal, and to the family of Dean Dino Mollenkoff for giving this blanket in Dino's memory. Here are the official placings for race 8 from the top. Number 1, Speaking Out, was 4th. Number 2, Universal, was the winner. Number 3, Headbanger, was 2nd. Number 4, PB's on Fire, was 3rd. And number 5, Last Bet, had been drawn. Time of the first quarter was 30 seconds. The half was in 1 minute and 2/5. The 3 quarters in 1:28, with a mile in 1:56 and 2/5. From the top it should read 4, 1, 2, 3, scratch, a mile in 1:56 and 2/5.
well, Matt, that wraps it up for a Tuesday evening here at Van Wert. The Ohio Harness Horsemen tomorrow kick things off at 12 noon at the Stark County Fair in Canton. Matt and I will be at Findlay with 13 races at the Hancock County Fair. Post time tomorrow at 1. So for Matt Clark, Doug Ballinger, we'll see you tomorrow in Findlay at 1 o'clock.
This has been Ohio County Fair Racing. Ohio County Fair Racing is presented by Midland Acres, thestable.ca, Cool Winds Farm, Big D Tack and Vet Supply, and the Ohio State University Veterinary Medical Center. Ohio County Fair Racing is a presentation of the Ohio Harness Horsemen's Association.